Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you some ways on how you can make your own light box. This is my light box, and if you don't know what a light box is, it's a little box that lights up. So here, let me dim some of my lights here. So if I turn it on, it lights up, and the purpose of it is to trace your drawings. So let's say you have a nice sketch you did and you want to trace that onto some nicer paper. That's what you would use this for. I do that all the time. I always do my sketches either in my sketchbook or on computer printer paper, and then I trace it onto my marker paper later. And that's because I have a pretty heavy hand when I sketch, and so I don't feel comfortable sketching directly on the marker paper. So yes, turning my lights back on here. This one I actually got as a birthday gift from my boyfriend several years ago. I don't even know if these ones are made anymore. There's no brand name or anything on this. I tried looking up the serial number and everything. Could not find it online anywhere. But yeah, it's just a pretty basic thin light box. I personally think the thinner it is, the better, because then your hand isn't way up on top of some big box, and if you get to the edge of it, your hand's kind of falling off. I don't know. I know you can just shimmy your paper over, but thin ones I think are more convenient. So that's my light box, but I want to show you some ways you can make your own at home. So this first method is not actually making a light box, it's just using something you have at home as a light box. So if any of you have a tablet at home, then you can easily turn it into a light box. All you have to do is go to Google, search white, and it will bring up a bunch of pure white images like this. Save it to your computer, and all you have to do is open that image full screen, and the screen is pure white. And here, let me just do a little demo. Always have to dim the lights before you use your light box. All right, my lights are shut off. Lay this down, and as you can see perfectly through the picture, and make sure your screen brightness is turned all the way up so you can see pretty well. But obviously not everyone has a tablet at home, and if you didn't have one, that would be pretty expensive. It'd be way more expensive than just buying a light box, but I just wanted to mention it because it is something a lot of people do have, and so that is something you can use. You can really use anything that has a screen, but things that are flat like tablets are the easiest to use because you can lay them flat. I'm just going to turn back on 2 of my lights because there's no point in me turning these on and off for this whole video. This next method is kind of a combination of methods, if you will. So it involves taking some kind of plastic container and putting lights underneath it. So you need any kind of plastic container that you have, preferably something that has a smooth surface. So for example, this lid, not ideal. It's got these bumps here and you can't really see that well through this area. So the bottom is much better. It's much more clear. The only problem with plastic containers is there's always this little bump in the middle. There's another little textured circle here. There's the recycle symbol, then there's the logo for the brand. So it's not 100% ideal, but it's definitely usable. Another option would be if you have clear storage drawers at your house. I have a set of 3 little drawers that I use to hold paper, so it'd be super easy to just pop the paper out, flip it upside down, and there you've got your surface. But again, there's logos and that kind of thing that do interfere a little bit, but if you're using a light hand, it doesn't matter that much, or you could just kind of move the paper around as you trace. And another thing I thought of was to use this baking dish. So it's made of glass, so it's see-through obviously. This side is completely smooth, however this side has a bunch of text embossed, so not ideal, but it does have a smooth half. And what you would do with something like this is you would put lights underneath it. First thing you're going to want to do is lay down some white paper. If you don't have a big sheet, you can just lay a few smaller sheets of paper. Lay that down because that's going to help reflect light back upwards. Then I'm going to take my lights, and here's what I have. So if you're using the technique where you're flipping a container upside down, there's usually not any open holes at the bottom. So if you're using a light that has a cord that plugs into the wall, it's gonna make it uneven and this is gonna kind of rock a little bit. If you're okay with that, that's fine, but a good option is to use lights that run on batteries. So the height of your container is gonna dictate how big your lights can be. I personally like the thinner containers because, as I said, the flatter the light box is, the easier it is to use. So I wanted lights that would fit underneath. So some options are these kinds of lights that you press to turn on. You can find these pretty much anywhere. I got these at Walmart. I think you can even get them at dollar stores. So they're pretty cheap and easy to find. And other lights I found, again at Walmart, these were all in the night light section, by the way. I got these lights. These were a little more expensive though. Here in Canada, these were $25 for a pack of 2. So not the cheapest, but these work really well. They're nice and bright, especially compared to these ones. So yeah, and it's white light instead of this yellow light. And these have a flat base, so they just sit nicely like that. So what I would do, I'd probably lay them this way. Put my container over top of it. Hey, these have sensors on them. I don't understand them. Oh, I think they're motion activated or something. I don't understand. So all you do is dim your other lights, put your paper on there, and there you go. You can see through it. Let's test these guys out. I feel like these other ones don't work very well, but I want to see how much light I can get from them. Oh yeah, that's not too bad either. And it is a little bit dimmer, but not bad at all. So as long as you're in a dim room, you're okay. You might have to leave if there's people in the room with you who need the lights on. You might have to go crawl into another room by yourself. But that's actually the beauty of the battery operated lights, is you can really take your setup anywhere. So yeah, that's my technique of flipping over a container. So this next method is using a picture frame, because it's flat, perfectly smooth, no logos, no recycle symbols, nothing. So it's a lot smoother than a plastic container. So depending where you are, frames can be kind of expensive or kind of cheap. I got this one at Walmart. It was $15, but I'm sure you could find cheaper ones elsewhere. Yeah, so you have this, you need to prop it up. By the way, if you use a shadow box, that would be a pretty good idea because it's already deep. But with this, I can't fit my lights underneath it, so I'm gonna need to prop it up on something. So what you can prop it up on is up to you. I was trying to brainstorm because I was like, well, not everyone's gonna have a block of wood or bricks. Those would work great, but I don't know, I don't have that kind of thing lying around the house. So you could use any kind of small boxes that would fit on the edges, or I was even thinking bread pans flipped upside down would work. Or what I found in my cupboards, Ziploc boxes. So I can lay these down. Let's put my lights in between. Turn these suckers on. And then I can place the glass over top of it. Dim my other lights. Place on the paper, and look at that. Works perfectly, right? So yeah, anything you can use to prop it up. By the way, most frames will probably have a backing you'll have to take out, and if that's the case, if the frame is facing upwards, the glass will fall out the bottom, so you'll actually have to flip your frame upside down to keep the glass from falling out. Yeah, these are somehow motion activated. I don't understand these. You like have to wave in front of them for them to turn on or something. But yeah, if that's the case, I would also recommend maybe taping down the edges of the glass so it doesn't pop out too easily. This is the kind of frame where it's double paned glass, and so there is no backing, and no matter which way you flip it, the glass will not fall out. So that's pretty nice. And you actually don't even need to keep the glass in the frame. If you'd rather just take it out of the frame, that's totally up to you. It might get a little sharp. I'm just gonna leave mine in the frames. All right, so just to wrap this video up, I think this is the easiest solution, is to use a tablet if you have one. But other than that, I think using a picture frame is the best option because it lets you use lights that have cords, and it lets you have a perfectly smooth surface compared to a plastic drawer. But I hope that gave you guys some ideas on how you can make your own light box at home for your drawings. These lights were kind of a fail, but honestly, if you can find something similar that's not motion activated, that'd be great. I did not realize these were motion activated when I bought them, and they shut off so quickly, so these are not very good. Do not recommend, but any small lights that will fit underneath will do, so yeah. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Babe. Why? Babe. messing up my workstation. You're putting your butt on people's thank you cards.